Hello, it's Dr. J. I am back again for day 11. Whew. We are trucking right along here on this 30-day productivity challenge. And we're going to keep going right until this thing is over and continue to be progressive together in synergy. And you know what we do at the beginning of the live. We allow you to come in, get comfortable. While we're doing that and Facebook builds my audience, I go over and share on all the many platforms that I do have to make sure that my peeps are getting this. To make sure that everybody is tuned in. And I got my natural going today, so it's kind of doing its own thing. But we're going to let it just do what it do. So if you're just joining, please make sure you say hello, share this out. And we will get started here shortly. So I have one more place to share this, and we are going to get right into the swing of things, because I know that you are ready to get it going. It was pretty hot yesterday. Today I don't expect anything different. So it's just going to be a good time discussing some hot topics. And again, we are on day 11 and progressing towards day 30. So you got plenty of time to stick around, and you got plenty of recordings now to go and catch, so you can catch up with what we've been talking about so that you can be on track with us. Hey, Marlon. Hey, Tidra. Thank you guys for joining. Marlon, you are so silly. No, this is not a microwave ponytail. Who does that? This is all from the scalp. Okay? That's why it's looking crazy. But yes, hello and welcome, Marlon. Yes, Tidra, it just does its own thing, but we go with it, right? So, for those of you who are just joining and may not know who I am, I have to be courteous and introduce myself. So I hope that as I'm doing this and after I do it, that you do the same. So make sure you give me some heart love, give me a thumbs up, say hello. Let me know you're out there, okay? So this is Dr. Jatun Dorsey. I am a best-selling author. 3-time best-selling author, working on my 4th book now, so you'll hear more about that at the end of this live. I'm also a speaker and life and business coach. Particularly, I teach parallelpreneurs how to successfully launch their business while also skillfully managing their time so that they can fulfill all the requirements of their career while also living out their passion in a stress-free zone. So when we talk about stress-free zones, that is another reason why I am doing this 30-day challenge. Not just to challenge myself, not just because I like to do video, because that is not the truth, okay? Hey, Tondalyn, thanks for joining. That is not the case, right? So this challenge is not just for me, it's for you as well. So this challenge is built upon my book that was released earlier this year, and it's called Intentional Living. And here is the cover. So when I initially released this book earlier this year, I did some pre-recorded videos that I shared on my business page and on my personal page and such. But because it is December and we are quickly approaching a new year, I had to go on and take on this challenge to do this live because I wanted to engage and get some feedback, hear what you guys are thinking, saying, and wanting to do. I want to really hear what you're going to do, right? These actions. So that's my intent for doing this 30-day challenge, is to share the 30 productivity principles that I share in my book, which are tried and true. Listen, I am, in addition to what I've already said, right? I'm also a corporate chick. and I'm a professor. So I have many things going on like you do as well, right? But oftentimes we get overwhelmed, overworked, stressed, all that good stuff, right? Even though it may be things that we enjoy doing, we find ourselves in a state of which we can't really manage successfully, right? And effectively. So that's the point of these tips that I want to share with you, especially as we are entering into a new year. We don't want to wait until the new year to do those new things that we need to do in order to progress and to serve as our best selves in life, right? No better time than now. So that's what we want to do. And that's what this challenge is all about. So again, just to remind you, this is not just a challenge for me. This is our challenge, right? We're in this together. Hey, Chantel, thanks for joining. So we are in this together. So if you are out there and you haven't already spoken, make sure that you say hello, give me some heart love. As I always say, I've introduced myself, so I hope that you come in and do the same thing, because I don't want you walking up in my house, my virtual home, and not speaking. That's not nice. So make sure you say hello. Just say a quick hi, hello, heart, love, thumbs up. Make sure you share this out so that you are sharing this with others, right? Your friends, your family, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, your enemies. Just make sure you share it out, right? Because we all need some type of boost, some encouragement and empowerment. But most of all, we need action. And that's why I'm here, because that's what we are talking about, getting productive, moving past being busy, moving past just being in this rat race, moving past just doing things because I feel like I gotta do it, but intentionally taking action towards the successes that you envision for your life, right? And having vision, right? First, we gotta have that vision, because we see so many things in life, from physical things, and that distracts us and makes us forget about the vision, the bigger picture down the road. So make sure that you keep that in mind as we go through this. So before I get into day 11's topic, of course, I got to do a quick recap of what we talked about thus far. So there are 5 sections in my book. The first section is shifting your mindset. And as I always say, shifting your mindset is the base. It is the base of the whole productivity challenge, right? So you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind in the game in order for you to be productive from a action standpoint, right? For you to do those other things that are required in order for you to increase your productivity, you must have the right thinking, right? So we got to reframe those thoughts. So some of the topics that we talked about in that section are creating capacity, not feeling accomplished by mere intentions. Distractions are like contractions. Developing rituals. Closed mouths don't get fed. Do more than get it, keep it. And it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. So if you haven't caught any of those, I recommend that you go back and you catch the replay so that you can catch up with us. Here's the thing. I'm not telling you to drop right now because, I need you to stay on so you can get this lesson. But when we finish today, make sure that you find time to go back and catch the replays, because these are intentionally placed in the order of which they are in my book. So not only do you want to catch the replays, but you also want to grab your copy of the book so that you can follow along. And there are questions at the end of each principle that truly get you to thinking and get you into action after you get inspired and empowered by the words that are in the principle. So then the second section is titled Don't Fail to Plan. We know the rest of that saying, right? Don't fail to plan or you plan to fail. We all know that. So in this section, we've talked about thus far 2 principles, and that's ask the right questions and don't reinvent the wheel. Yesterday was pretty hot. We had some good discussion. We had some questions. So I look forward to you guys engaging with me just the same today so that we can make this one just as interesting, right, as the past ones have been. So again, reminder, make sure you share this out if you haven't already so we can make sure that we are getting this out to the masses so people know that there is help. Help is on the way to help us get more productive and increase our peace of mind, right? We don't want to just be productive and going crazy, going insane, right? We don't even want to be busy and going insane. So we want to get this thing effective and in order. So I missed one. We also talked about mastering one task at a time. That was very important because all too often we do too many things at one time and not mastering anything. So we become a jack of all trades and a master of none, but we just feel good about doing stuff, right? I don't know why we do that. I've done it before, so I can't just point my finger at you and say you're doing it. So today's topic, though, is know your why. It was a challenge for me to decide exactly where I wanted to place this chapter because I think that this is also very important when it comes to shifting your mindset as well. Because knowing your why, it goes back to what we talked about, I believe, yesterday and maybe even the day before that when we talk about having the end in mind. When you start, you have the end in mind, right? So when you have a why, your why is what drives you. It's what gets you out of bed to go and do those things that you may not enjoy, right, every day, or those things that you do enjoy, but you're still just a little worn out, right, because you have so many things going on. But when you know your why, and your why is bigger than your how, then you are driven, right? You are driven and you are consistent about moving towards achieving those goals because that why is why you're doing it, right? So whether the why is your children, your husband, your finances, whatever it is, make sure that it's bigger than those items, those intricate details, or those intricate involvements that you have, because if not, you'll get caught up in the moments. Right? And those moments are what collectively build you up into the stage of success, right? The stage of achieving. But all too often, like I said, we have so many things going on. We get caught up in the moment and we're like, oh my gosh, this is going on. I can't handle this. I can't do that. I didn't make this person happy. I disappointed this person. I didn't show up here. We're thinking about all those many things, right? In those moments that could distract us and cause us to totally deter the path into which we were going in. So, Tidra, you're saying the why is so important. Your why helps you stay focused and keep you motivated? Definitely. And your why is there. Yep, that's what I said. Your why is bigger than you. So what is that thing that is driving you? Why are you doing this? See, when I talk about people doing so many things, right? Being an octopus and having hands in so many different pots, right? Oftentimes we're doing this for reasons that don't align with our why. And sometimes it's because we don't know what our why is. Other times it's because we just feel like we're obligated just because somebody asked. But as we grow older, right, as we become more clear about our passions, our purpose, and our why, we know that no is a complete sentence and it's okay to just say, I'm not going to be able to do it, right? Because that doesn't align to what I'm doing and where I'm going. And sometimes you got to rearrange some things in order to achieve more or effective time management so that you can do more of what you enjoy, more of what is going to get you closer to your goal. But again, that why is going to be what drives you. It may not be the thing that is directly related to your end result, but it is something that encourages you to keep pushing. Hey, Nell, thanks for joining. She says, I use the why when I am developing my agents. Awesome. I love it. I hope you're getting some great feedback from them on that. And I hope that the why and them identifying the why is helping them stay focused. But not only that, I commend you for even challenging them to ask themselves that. Tidra, you said your why keeps you pushing when you feel that you can't go any further. Yes, and we've talked about that before, right? We talked about being tired, but some people, when you get tired, you quit. No, that's not an option. When you get tired, rest. But you're going to get right back up and get on that horse so you can continue towards achieving that goal because what? You got that why in mind. Now, here's another distraction that we have. Even though we may have the why in mind, we can still get distracted by the how. Right? So we know we want to start that business. We know we want to get that degree. We know we want to buy that house, whatever the goals are that you have for yourself. But you often discourage yourself before you even put yourself out there to see if it's an option, right? Do your research and actually put your foot in one foot in front of the other and try this thing out. You start to talk yourself out of it and say, instead of my why, how? How can I do that? How do I think that I'm going to be able to achieve this, that, and the other? But when you are clear about your why and you function as a result of your why and because of your why, then your how will show up. Your how will show up. There's been many times that, I think I've talked about, some businesses that I've started in the past that I eventually learned that wasn't aligned to my passion and my ultimate goal. So I had to redirect, right? But I am so confident in knowing that had I not done those things, that I wouldn't be in the position that I am, knowing exactly what my passion is, right? But had I thought about it then and said to myself, instead of me starting a business, how? And continuously asking myself how, right? Instead of what is my why, right? And why do I want to do this? So getting clear about that thing before you implement is very important, but don't allow analysis paralysis to hold you back and deter you from actually making steps towards that goal. So get clear on your why. So for me, my why is my legacy, right? So when I have children, I want to make sure that I have a foundation for them that is going to be something that they can leverage. Less work for them, right? So that's one of my whys, but I have many whys. And if you've caught one of my replays previously, I also talked about being clear about what it is exactly that you'll fight for in life. What is it that you will fight for in life that you will not give up on, that you're going to do whatever it takes in order to get to your goal, push past the barriers, right? So that's another way so that you can identify what your why is. And some people may have challenges with that, because I know all too often I have clients that come to me, even potential clients that I'm speaking with currently, that are struggling and challenged with identifying what their passion is and their purpose first, right? So it's all encompassing. So it's important for us to do the work up front so that we can get clear about what it is that we want to do in life, why we want to do that in life, and what is our why. Why are we doing this bigger than the reason that we're doing it in the moment? So what's the bigger picture? So now I'm challenging you to look past sight and use your vision, right? So beyond the things that you can physically see, you can physically touch, and that you can actually hear right now. What is it that you want to achieve, and what is your why? So that is your homework, your challenge, your call to action for today is to go and reassess and think about exactly what it is that you are doing all that you're doing for, right? Because we don't want to be spinning our wheels and doing things just because who has time for that? I know I don't. And we don't know when our time will come, right? So we want to take full advantage of the moments that we currently have in life so that we can be better, effective and efficient as we go about these moments in life to progress towards achieving those goals. Hey, Rodney, thank you for joining. That's okay. I understand life happens. Things are going on. It is a Monday. So, yeah, thank you for hopping on anyway. So if you are just joining, again, as I always say, make sure you say hello. You just came in my virtual home. I said hello. So come and speak to me before you sit on my couch. Also, make sure you give me heart love, thumbs up, share this out with your friends, family, and neighbors, and everyone else that you can think of, because sharing is caring. And as you know, if you tuned in before, we are talking about 30 productivity principles to increase your productivity while maintaining peace of mind. That was a lot of productivity in that, huh? But you got it. You got what I'm saying, because you've been following along. I trust that you've been watching the videos live or either catching the replays. So I know that from the feedback that I've been getting that this is very beneficial. This is some information that either you didn't know or things that you're just being reminded of. And you know, a lot of us know a lot, but what are we doing actually to implement that in our lives so that we can function in the best self that we can? And that's the challenge, right? Being held accountable. And sometimes it's all that we need is to be held accountable and to be reminded. So you tuning in with me every day, I hope that that is helping you in some form or fashion. And as I always say, as the old folks will tell you, sometimes you got to eat the meat and leave the bones, right? So if you're tuning in, there may be some things that you've heard before, and maybe some things that you hadn't heard before, but whatever it is that you need and that aligns with your need currently in your life, then that's what you pull from, right? That's what you pull out of these live sessions. When you are live, because I really enjoy them and don't need to. Oh, so thanks for the heart love, Nell. And I see your comment as well. So I'm doing this 30-day challenge, right? I'm on day 11 today. So I haven't committed to an exact time each day, which has been the challenge, right? Because as I mentioned, I got all these things going on. I'm teaching. I have a corporate job and all that good stuff, which is why I'm able to share with you all these productivity challenges or principles that have worked for me. So what I'll try to do next time is at least give like a scheduling. I think I can send out a notification of my intent to go live. So I can try to do that so you can get a little heads up and try to to catch me if you can. If not, then you always have the replays. But I appreciate you for joining, and I appreciate the comments. So I'm glad to get some more reaffirmation about you enjoying this live and these lives. Chantel, I think I spoke to you, Chantel, I think. Making sure I did speak to you earlier. Okay. But you still here. So thanks for the thumbs up. Let me know that you're still out there. Thanks for the heart love, Tidra. So today's topic, as we said, was developing your why. The last thing I wanted to talk about on this, because as I always say, I don't like to give you too much because you got to go out and get your copy. I sound like the guy from Coming to America. Singing, right? Hope it wasn't that bad though. But yeah, if you get your copy, you'll be able to better follow along and maybe even get ahead so that you're prepared for the next day's discussion. So make sure that you check out the link each day that I post the video. I also include the link for purchasing the video or purchasing the book so that you can follow along during the videos. So make sure that you do that. And of course, I got to share with you all the good stuff that's going on or that's going down, so y'all can make sure you support, right? So stick around. It won't take much longer. I know we're about we're nearing 30 minutes, but I'll try to have you off of here in the next 10. Okay, so just stick with me. If you've been following, you know that I like to say that, and then that's when I think about a whole bunch of other things. But just stick with me, okay? So I just mentioned the book, so make sure you buy your copy of the Intentional Living book that was released earlier this year, Productivity Principles to Increase Your Peace of Mind, right? So we want to be productive this year, next year, all the following years, while also maintaining peace of mind. So moving past that busy state, but actually being productive. So as I mentioned, this book I discuss in the book productivity principles, right? Some tried and true tips that help you increase your productivity, right? So this is practical tips that you can easily apply in your life. Now that I say that, and I have to emphasize practical simply because I am releasing yet another book early next year that's also entitled Intentional Living. However, it's Intentional Living, the anthology, right? So I have some awesome co-authors that are a part of this book project, and we are going to crush it in 2018, right? We already got the full manuscript submitted, so everything is almost completed. So make sure that you follow us, because as I mentioned, this book that we're discussing in this 30-day challenge, it shares tips, tried and true principles, right? Some practical tips. However, in the anthology, the co-authors are sharing some lived experiences, right? Some challenges that they faced or experienced in life. And most importantly, how did they overcome those? But they overcame them by being intentional. But you need to read the book to learn how they did that, because I'm sure it's something that one of you, two of you, three of you, all of you have gone through before. And maybe even experiencing something now that you're challenged with, and you're wondering, how can I overcome this thing? And I feel like I'm alone in this thing. I feel like nobody else is understanding what I'm going through. So I hope that you make sure that you catch us and follow us. Tidra's on today, so I want to make sure that she gets a shout out. She's one of the co-authors, so make sure you follow her. Everyone is sharing out teasers now, so you're getting a little teaser of what's going to be going down in the book. But again, we're not going to give you everything, because we want you to come in. We want you to support us. We want you to grab your copy, attend the book launch, book signing, all that good stuff. So that's coming. Make sure you catch that. And then we have the Date with the Dorseys. That's my husband and I, where we have a podcast that we record each week. And we talk about the 5 F's. And I'm just saying, I'm not going to tell you what the 5 F's are. You just got to catch those episodes too. It's a podcast, so you can listen to it as you drive, while you're in the shower, whatever, your pleasure. It's available on audio. So make sure you catch that. I'll share that link as well. And then the survey. So with the survey, as I've been telling you, I've been cooking up some things, mixing up some ingredients, but I want to make sure that what I am preparing is to your liking and it's something that you need, right? I don't want to just throw things out there hoping that, you'll eat it. And I'm not going to shove it in your face. So I want your feedback on this survey. Less than 5 questions, less than 5 minutes, but I know that you have to take time out of your busy schedule, whether it's 2 minutes, 1 minute, 6 minutes. I don't care. It's time, right? That you could be spending doing something else in your busy life. So with that being said, if you take the time out of your busy schedule just to complete that survey, I am going to do a random raffle at the end of this month and probably making the announcement early next month for a winner to receive a copy of 2 of my books, signed, sealed, and delivered from me, just for you taking your time out to complete that survey. So I hope you catch that link. As a matter of fact, I keep telling myself to do this, and I'm going to do it today, right? I always mention the survey, and then I do share it in the description of the video. But today I want to post it in the comments as I'm speaking about it so that we can make sure that you have that like right now. If you want to just go ahead and click that. Does that work for everybody? I hope it does. Hey, Dr. O. Thank you for joining. So I just posted the link to the survey. So make sure that you click on that link. You take your 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I know it can't be even 5 minutes, right? To make sure that you are completing that so you can get your chance, get your name in the raffle so you can perhaps win copies of 2 of my books, right? So make sure that you do that. And then, last but not least, the online course, the Intentional Living Institute. You have an opportunity during this 30-day challenge to sign up, to sign up for the online Intentional Living course. That is $5 per month. It's only $5 during this 30-day challenge, and it's going to go up in January. I have such big plans that I'm building out to even add to that program that's currently available there. So make sure that you do check that out as well, because it's some goody good stuff. Some of it's from this productivity book as well, but then there's things beyond that. I'm going to be, making this even more robust for 2018, because I'm seeing the need, and because you are talking to me in that survey and here. I'm just saying, I listen to my people. I listen to y'all. So what we got here? Tidra says, yes, the podcast is good. She's talking about the date with the Dorseys. I'm just saying, if you haven't caught it, y'all need to catch it. You got to catch it. Marlon, the podcast is good. They are very, very genuine. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Marlon. Thanks for that shout out. You guys are awesome. So I'm glad that you all are enjoying A Day with the Dorseys. I know Mr. Dorsey has peeped in on a couple of my lives here. One day I'll get him to sit still and actually do the live with me during this 30-day challenge. But y'all pray for me on getting him to do that. But I'm going to get him at least one day before this 30 days is up, and I got plenty of days left. So y'all be on the lookout for that, okay? But remember, today's topic was knowing your why. I have to get back to that and make sure that you are reminded that finding your why, identifying your why is very important. It's even one of the questions that I ask my students. They are MBA students, adults with lives, right, and businesses and all this stuff. So that is one of the questions that I ask my students the first day of class. What is your why? Why are you obtaining your MBA? So, that's something that you're investing in. And it's time consuming, right? And again, you got all these many other things going on in life. So those type of things that we commit to, we have to be really clear about why we're doing it. Because otherwise you'll get distracted, you'll get discouraged, you'll get tired, and you'll quit. And that's not why we start these things. We start them so that we can finish them, right? There's a reason. So we have to be clear about that. Even if you got to get some sticky notes, some magnets, something, put them around the room, on the refrigerator, on the door as you go out in the garage, wherever it is that you need to post this why, so that you're constantly reminded of exactly why you're doing what you're doing every day. Then that's what's going to keep you in drive mode, right? So that's your action, your call to action, as I mentioned, for you to sit down. Yesterday you had some homework yesterday too, right? I'm not going to ask y'all to submit it. I'm just going to trust that you're doing it. But today you have a new assignment. And that assignment is to identify your why. Not only that, once you identify your why, I need you to get some sticky notes. You can be fancy or not. right? And post that around in places of your house that you are going to frequent, right? Even in your vehicle, wherever it is, at your job, in your office, wherever it is that you're going to guarantee to see this every day. That's where I need you to post that so we can make sure we are constantly reminded and kept on track towards our goals, right? So that has been, okay, so I'm probably going to butcher your name. Forgive me if I do. Unaga, thank you for joining and thanks for the thumbs up. But we were just about to close out here, so if you did not catch the beginning, make sure you go back and catch the replay. We'll definitely be continuing this for until the 30th of this month, right? So you're going to be ramped up, ready to go for the new year, because I know you all are actively implementing these principles and tips as we are going along. So you got 11 thus far. So you need to, let me know how this is going. So tomorrow, I hope that you'll be able to post and let me know if there's a particular principle that's working for you, that's something that has benefited or something that you needed at that moment, right? So I look forward to hearing that. And if you want to, feel free to email me. You have my website there, drjatun.com. You can email me as well, Jatun at drjatun.com. You can also email my team and they'll get with me, admin, ADMIN at drjatun.com as well. And you can connect with me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn at drjatun. So I've given you all the options and ways to connect with me. Okay, so no excuses. If you want to work with me, right? If you have an event coming up and you'd like for me to be on your panel, to speak, partner, anything, right? Reach out to me. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to connect with you. So this has been day 11 of the 30-day productivity challenge for me and for you. And remember, this is all about being successful, right? I am your success synergist, which means that we're working together to achieve the success that you have in your mind, that you have your mindset for yourself, right? Synergy means we're working together. It ain't about me coaching you, telling you what to do, right? I'm coaching you with you, right? So this is a team effort. Hey, India, thanks for joining, love. Thanks for the thumbs up as well. So with that, guys, I want to make sure that you had all of my contact information, that you have all the information you need to continue to follow, because this thing is going to continue to go, right? We are only on day 11. I see people are still popping on. We are just about to close out. So if you haven't already shared, make sure that you do share this out, because sharing is caring, right? I already said that sharing is caring. And if you've stepped in and you haven't said hello, shame on you. You have walked into my virtual home. I would love to meet you. So say hello, give me thumbs up, heart love. As we are closing out here, I would love to greet you as you come in. Hey, Jazzy, thanks for joining. Thanks for the hard love. See, I got some people that like to play right. I understand that, right? We on the same page. So thank you all for joining, okay? Of course, India, of course. I am going to give you some love back whenever you speak. That's why I like to know who's out there. So, as I stated, hey, Lakeisha, thanks for joining. Yes, please do. Make sure you do save it. I know you're just joining, but make sure you do save it and go back and catch the replays. Today is day 11. So for those of you, I got to keep saying this, for those of you who are just joining, this is day 11. So you've missed 10 days already, plus today if you're just jumping on. So make sure you catch your replays, right? The replays for the past 10 days. And we're going to be continuing this until the 30th of this month. So make sure that you set your reminders. What I did mention earlier is that I am not on at a specific time every day. Okay. So I'll try to give you some type of an alert to let you know that I'm going live. But just bear with me, right? Bear with me. In the building. Oh, Mujai. I hope I didn't butcher that too. Thank you for joining. So yeah, make sure that you're catching me. I'll try to post that out so you guys will know when I'm about to hop on. Other than that, I want to make sure that you connect with me. You have my website. I told you all my my handles on social media, so connect with me there. Gave you all the juicy good stuff that's coming up, that's coming out, that's about to go down. So you got to make sure that you are following so that you have that information as soon as it drops. I also shared a link to a survey in the comments already. So if you didn't catch that, make sure that you do that as well, because I'd love to have your feedback on that. I just posted it again just in case you missed it earlier. But you have an opportunity to win. So it'll only take you 3, 4, 5 minutes. Just that, right? That's not much time. So if you do that, you'll have an opportunity to win copies of my books. So I hope that you take the time out of your busy schedule to do that. Other than that, I am well over my time, as I have been the last couple of days. But when it gets good, you just got to keep going, right? So with that, I hope that you have taken away something that is going to be beneficial in your life, in your love, life, or business, right? You know, I love to talk about all three. So catch me either later this week on A Date with the Dorseys, and or on my lives that are remaining this week and through the 30th, right? As we prepare for 2018 before 2018. So make sure that you're catching that. And until next time, I'm going to say ta-ta. Bye for now. Thank you all for joining.